Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. We look like we're about 2 minutes after the hour and we have quorum. Olivia, we can't hear you.
Can you repeat that?
There we go.
Good. I call this meeting to order at 9:02 a.m. on Monday, June 20th.
Okay, I'll go ahead and take roll call. When you hear your name, please say present. Chair Pacheco.
Present.
Vice Chair Gabby Colombo. Commissioner Kiara Colombo. Commissioner Gonzalez. Commissioner Zunis.
Present.
Commissioner Rupert.
Present.
Commissioner Lashansky. Commissioner Sue.
Present.
Okay. Just for the record, Commissioner Gonzalez, are you here? Looks like it.
Not working.
Let the record show 5 commissioners are present, 3 absent.
Are we on to the agenda items? Oh, there we go. Woo! I guess I'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Can you guys stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Agenda items. Okay, wait, hold on. I have the agenda pulled up. It's just not. Is it not coming up? Oh, uh-oh.
The next item on the list is going to be the special presentation for Luis Canseco.
Okay, our special presentation.
Hi, do I just go ahead and start?
Yeah, do you have materials that you'd like to share?
Yes, I do have a PowerPoint, and I'll share some slides. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Yeah. Can you all see that? Okay. Yeah, good morning, everyone. So let me go ahead and start by introduction. My name is Luis Canseco Garcia, and I'm a domestic violence education and prevention program manager with CRC. CRC is located in Encinitas, so maybe some of you are familiar with CRC. We are a nonprofit organization, and and so we focus in 3 areas. One is helping low-income families. The other area is helping unhoused people, and the other area is helping survivors of domestic violence, people who are going through intimate partner violence. And that's the department I work in the domestic violence department. And so within the domestic violence department, we have different services to offer to people, such as we provide a 24-hour hotline where people can call if they need services, if they need to leave their hostile household, and we provide shelter for folks to come in. We have counseling for folks who are going through domestic violence. We have therapy for children as well. and other services. And so within that program is the Domestic Violence Education and Prevention program. And that's my role, so my team. And so what we do is we bring education to our communities about what domestic violence is, or intimate partner violence, what dating violence is, what is teen dating violence when we speak to youth. We focus on educating people and bringing the resources that CRC provide, but also other resources available in the community for people to be aware of them. And it's very, to my shock, right, to my surprise, a lot of people do not know of the resources that exist. And sometimes I think some of us who might be more aware, or maybe, we go to school, we get to hear about resources, so we're more aware of resources, but a lot of people out there do not know. And so I think it's very important for us to spread awareness for people to know that these resources exist, especially for the community at no cost. Like, we don't charge, we are a nonprofit agency. People don't pay for these services, right? And so my program, we focus on educating people. And when we say people, we say everyone, adults, youth, people from all sectors. We go to schools, we go to colleges, we go to universities, we work with law enforcement. We train law enforcement about what domestic violence is. We train healthcare professionals, people from all sectors. Again, to educate people and for people to be aware of how complex intimate partner violence is. And so with youth, we teach about dating violence and we teach about healthy relationships. So we don't only want to focus on the dating violence aspect of it, right? We don't only want to focus on the negative, but we also want to cultivate healthy relationships. And so that's something that we focus a lot for youth, teenagers and young people, to start cultivating those healthy relationships, and healthy relationships with everyone. That can be with your parents, that can be with your peers, that can be with your teachers, your mentors, and also with your dating partner. And so, yes, that's what we do. And as you see in the title says prevention, the goal of this program is to prevent violence before it happens. We provide intervention services, the counselors, therapy for children, the shelter. Those are intervention. The violence already occurred, intervention, right? And so that goal of our program is prevention, to prevent it before it happens. I think all of us in this group can agree that that's the world we want to live in, right? Be prevented before it happens. And we believe that education, resources is one of the ways we can prevent violence from occurring. And so this is a long presentation. This is like a 12-hour presentation, but I'm just gonna go over a few slides. I know we're short in time. But yes, that's who I am and that's what we do. And so let me give you some information about dating violence. Dating violence is also known as relationship abuse, teen dating violence, or intimate partner violence. And you probably heard me in the last couple of minutes use different terms. Ultimately, it means the same: intimate partner violence, that violence that happens between a relationship or a couple, between two parties, right, in a relationship. And so what it means is dating abuse or violence is a pattern of violent or abusive behaviors by a partner or ex to gain power and maintain control in a relationship. So that's the basic definition. It doesn't sound too basic, but that's the basic definition here in the state of California. It's when somebody or this person you are dating or you're friends with or you're hooking up with, this person aims to gain power over you and maintain that control over you. That's what dating violence is. And this abuse can happen online. People can use tactics online or in person, and includes physical, sexual, emotional, verbal, financial violence, and stalking. And I'll speak a little bit more in a few minutes. Also, dating violence is a learned behavior and not caused by genetics. I think that's really important for all of us to know. Somebody who behaves this way, it's not like this person was born evil and was born to cause harm, right? This person learned this behavior growing up, maybe in his own or her own household. This person might have seen a lot of violence happening, right? And so this person learned these behaviors, and maybe now as an adult, well, that's all he or she knows, right? And so this is the way that person's gonna behave. So that's really important for us to know, because it's not it's not like this person was born evil. So that means that this person learned this. And so if this person learned this, that means that this person can unlearn that, right? Or stop practicing those unhealthy behaviors and start practicing healthy behaviors. So we can help people who might be abusive as well. Also, dating violence is a choice that abusive person makes and is not caused by alcohol or drugs. A lot of people who cause harm, they might use the excuse of, oh, I was drunk. I yelled at you because I was drunk, or because, right, I hit you because I was drunk, or something like that. They will always point out they always put the fault in alcohol. And yes, of course, and when you're under the influence of alcohol, you're gonna make poor decisions, and it impairs your judgment. But it is not alcohol who taught you how to behave this way, right? It's not alcohol who is causing this violence. You already have that in you, right? It just happens that with alcohol, you make poor decisions, and it happens to be abusive behavior. You always tell people, I have friends who drink, and they're not abusive, right? And also, dating violence is influenced by institutional beliefs and social norms, right? If we and we, Here in prevention, the work that we do in prevention, we do talk about this, because we have to dive deep into the root of violence. Why are people harming? Who's harming the most? And why do people have this entitlement of having control and power over you? And so a lot of this is influenced by institutional beliefs and social norms, such as patriarchy, for example, right? We do know that men harm more, and men tend to harm women more, right? And so a social norm, an example of a social norm would be this patriarchy that we see maybe on TV and social media, where we see that maybe the man is portrayed as stronger, the man is portrayed as superior, right? And the woman is inferior. And so this mentality affects people, right? And so this person might start thinking, oh, well, I'm superior to women, so that means that my girlfriend or my partner is inferior to me, and so this person must do what I say, right? So that's an example of how social norm harms the mentality of people, right? And those are things that we have to challenge, right? And I know that challenging patriarchy, challenging this entitlements of masculinity, and teaching people healthy masculinity, right, is gonna take us to a world where there's gonna be less violence towards women, girls, and non-binary folks. And let me go on. Teen dating violence or domestic violence. And so I should have mentioned this before. So teen dating violence, we use is the same as domestic violence. We use teen dating violence to talk specifically about teenagers and younger people. Because it happens to young people, it happens to older people, it happens to all folks. TDV is prevalent in every community and affects people regardless of age, socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, gender, race, religion, or nationality. So anybody can be affected by domestic violence. Of course, it does matter who you are, right? And it does matter the resources you have. So even though it happens to people who are wealthy and people who are not wealthy, it happens to both. But of course, depends. I mean, depending on your income, it's gonna matter. For example, right, if you are a wealthy person, well, you're gonna have more resources available to you. Maybe you have money and you say, well, I'm done with this person. This person doesn't treat me good. I'm gonna leave and go rent my own place, get my own place, right? That's a huge resource. Now imagine somebody who doesn't have that resource, right? Somebody who doesn't have that income. Well, that's one of the main reasons. I think that's the number one reason why people stay in abusive relationships, because often they don't know where to go. They don't have the resources to say, I'm gonna go rent my own place. They don't have that money. They don't have that income, right? And so income is one of the reasons why people stay in abusive relationships. So even though it happens to people of all identities, people do experience it different because of their identities, right? And categories. A few statistics, 1 in 3 teens who have been in relationship have experienced sexual violence, physical violence, or threats of physical harm from a partner. That is 1 in 3 teens. It's a huge number. It's a huge number, right? And so maybe some of you know somebody who has experienced this, and or maybe you've experienced this yourself, right? A lot of this violence happens, right? The physical one and the emotional one. And so it's upsetting to know that that statistic is real, right? And then we also know that a lot of people don't report this violence. But that's why it's very important for us to be aware of this, for all of us to raise awareness, right? Maybe you can talk to your friends about this, or bring this to your school, bring education about teen dating violence and healthy relationships to your school. That's something that we provide at CRC. We provide those workshops and trainings. It can be from a 1 hour training to 6 sessions, 45 minutes workshop, right? So we can do something like that, or something more in depth. LGBTQ youth experience more physical and psychological abuse and sexual coercion than their straight peers, and 1 in 4 dating teens are harassed through technology. And then the statistic over here to the right side is very interesting. This statistic portrays. So youth were asked if they talked to their parents about teen dating violence and healthy relationships, and 74% of boys said that they have not had this conversation with their parents, and 66% of girls said that they had not had this conversation with their parents. And so this statistic is something that I definitely use with parents, because it is true. And me doing this, me working in the field for now 3 years and doing workshops and training parents, training youth, I always ask the question when I'm in a class with youth, how many of you have you talked to your parents about dating? And yes, this number is very true. A lot of people do not talk to their parents. Well, a lot of parents don't talk to their kids about dating. A lot of parents don't talk to their kids about relationships or sex, right? And so they're important topics that we should be talking about, but it's still not talked about a lot at home for many reasons, right? One can be, it's parents might be embarrassed to talk about this. Parents might think that their kids are too young to be talking about this, right? Or sometimes, often I should say, is just a taboo topic, right? Like, for example, me growing up in a Mexican household, this was something that you just didn't talk about. We didn't talk about dating. We didn't talk about sex, right? And so those are some of the reasons. And so why focus on young people? Girls and young women between the ages of 16 and 24 experience the highest rate of intimate partner violence, almost triple the national average. And violent behavior typically begins between the ages of 12 and 18. So that's why it's very important for us to talk to young people, right? Especially, like I said in the beginning, if we want to prevent it. Types of abuse. There is physical violence, which is, right, the hitting, the kicking, the punching, the throwing items, the pulling hair, the pushing. Those are physical violence. That's physical violence. But also there's emotional and verbal abuse, such as insults, somebody calling you names, putting you down, belittling you, threatening you. That's emotional abuse. Isolating you from family and friends. That's emotional abuse. Sexual abuse, when somebody coerces you to have sex with them, right? Or maybe this person, it decides whether he or she should use protection or not, right? When this person decides and controls, that's when it becomes abuse, right? Any form of coercion, right? And when there's no consent, that's sexual abuse. Financial abuse is when somebody, this happens more with adults, but it does happen with young people too, when this person might give you, for example, $20 for the whole week, or this person might take your checks away and put them into their account. Right? Or when this person doesn't, controls your bank accounts and your finances, right? Digital abuse is abuse that happens through the use of technology, such as somebody sending you disturbed messages or unwanted pictures, or this person might be requesting unwanted pictures that you don't want to share with them. Stalking, cyber stalking. So stalking is when somebody is following you. Cyber stalking is when somebody's following you as well and spying you, but through the use of technology. Nowadays, right, with the use with technology, people can track other people simply with their phones. And so these are the types of abuse. And let me go ahead and I just want to share this one resource. So here's a resource. Like I said, this PowerPoint it's a long one. It's the one I use for like when I do 1 hour, 2 hours. So this is a resource. Please go ahead and scan this, or go ahead and follow on Instagram. Love is Respect. So Love is Respect is a national hotline. They're a super cool organization. So if you need help with, it can be something small. It can be something like, my boyfriend is asking me to do this. Is this okay or not? It can be simple. You can call to ask them this question. You can chat online with them. You can text them just to ask away any question you might have that is kind of having you're sitting there thinking, is this healthy? Is this not healthy? Ask, right? Ask people, ask professionals. And so, or it can be something, really bad as, oh, my boyfriend pushed me and, he yelled at me. It can be something like that too. So the national hotline, they gonna, and on the other end, they are advocates, college advocates, young people. They use young college advocates because they don't want to put you on a phone with somebody that is 50 plus years old, right? They want to put you on the phone with somebody who can relate to you more, who knows more about teenage years, right? Who knows a little bit more about high school years, right? So that's why these college students, they're trained, they're advocates, they go through a long training, right? And so they're there to help you. And if you need resources like physical resources, you need therapy or something like that, then they're gonna put you in contact with your closest domestic violence agency. So for example, if you're in North County, if you're in Encinitas, right? And if you call the national hotline, they're gonna put you with us. They're gonna connect you with us, with Community Resource Center. And so then the second resource is us. That's our hotline right there in our website. So please feel free to visit our website and explore and see the things that we have to offer. If you're interested in volunteering with us, we do a lot of volunteering. We have a lot of volunteering opportunities. And that's it for this small presentation. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing, and then I'm gonna allow you to ask away any question you might have.
Okay, I have a quick question.
Yes.
So what is something that you see a lot of teenagers like normalize, I guess, and not realize that it's considered violence? Because I know sometimes people can just think, oh, well, it's a joke or like something, but like, what is the biggest thing that teens like miss? I think I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but like what they miss, like understand about it.
Yes, and that's the thing, we have normalized so many unhealthy behaviors, such as, for example, the one that's coming to me right now is jealousy, right? Sometimes somebody might, when there's a lot of jealousy happening by one person, the other person might portray that as, oh, that's cute, or oh, he or she really loves me. That's why he's very jealous, right? And so it's kind of jealousy is, yes, it's a natural feeling. We all have it, right? But there's a limit to it too, right? If it's very extreme, then that's unhealthy. That's an unhealthy sign. Why is he or she too jealous, right? Those are questions that person should start asking themselves. But yes, culturally wise, some people have normalized that behavior. as thinking, oh, that's romantic. That means that he really loves me. Or somebody who wants to spend a lot of time with you, right? Like this person might want to be with you all day. You go home and then this person starts texting you or calling you, like, this is too intense. And so some people might portray that as he or she really loves me. When that's when that can be, again, that can be too intense, right? And so often it starts like that, and then it leads to this person not allowing you to hang out with your friends because this person wants you to be with them all the time, and that's isolating. Now this person is starting to isolate you from your friends and family, and that becomes really unhealthy. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that people do that that aren't healthy, but that we have, I guess, in a way, normalized them. Uh-huh. Yeah. Or for example, one time I was talking to a young, so I was in a class, and this young person told me that her boyfriend tracks her through her phone. And so I asked her, why does your boyfriend track you? And she says, oh, because he really cares about me and loves me. And then so I asked her, and do you have your parents? And she said, yes, I have my parents. And I said, both of your parents? And she said, yes. Do you have a good relationship with the parents? She said, yes, I love my parents. And I asked her, do your parents track you? And she said, no. And so that got her thinking, right? Like she sat there like, thinking about it, and I'm like, then why do you let your boyfriend track you, not your parents? So there's certain behaviors that we should start questioning. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Thank you, Olivia, for asking that question.
Do you guys ever partner with school sites specifically, like as a resource? Because I know a lot of students, like at my school, we have like a peer assisted listener, which is just high school students who are like around to listen to anyone who is either having like a panic attack or just needs some time off. But I know that program could probably utilize a program like this. So do you guys ever like partner, or do you have resources to give out to high school counselors or students who could share it around?
Are you talking about San Dieguito Academy?
Yeah.
Yes. We do partner with the Pulse. Yes, we train the Pulse. We train the Pulse every year. Every year we train the Pulse, and so they're aware of the resources that CRC provides, but they also learn about teen dating violence. Yes, so we do that, and so we hope to do them with more schools as well. Yeah, but yes, the Pulse program, I think that's, it's an amazing model, and I think more schools need to do something like that. Yes, yes. Thank you, Joy. Any other questions? Anyone?
It sounds like probably not any more questions, but I do want to thank you, Luis, for coming today. I think this is a really important topic, and it's especially important for teenagers who are just starting to date, because I know that it's an experiential issue too, because they just don't know what the standard is supposed to be. And so folks like yourself who are trying to help the youth of the community in this area are extremely helpful. So thank you for all that you do for the local Encinitas community.
Thank you, Parker. And please, I'm gonna type in my contact information in the chat box. Feel free to call me, email me if you need if you want to bring any like workshop to your class or to your school. We can talk about that, right? And we can bring those teen dating violence and healthy relationship workshops. I don't have access to the chat box, but Mr. Parker, feel free to share my information. One thing though, I can send you the slides, but I don't have your email. So maybe later you can send me your email. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll be sure to, I'll touch base after the meeting,
Okay.
and we can make sure to get these slides to everybody on this year's Youth Commission.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. You'll have a great day. Bye.
All right, so now we're on to oral communications. Are there any people who are going to address the Youth Commission? Any public speakers?
There are no oral communications today.
Awesome. Any city staff have anything to say? No, we're good? Awesome. Are there any changes to the agenda?
There are no changes to the agenda.
All right. The approval of the June 1st Youth Commission regular meeting minutes.
Is there a motion?
I'll motion. I motion to approve the June 1st Youth Commission regular meeting minutes.
Commissioner Rupert, second.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take a vote. Chair Pacheco,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yeah.
Commissioner Junis.
Yep.
Commissioner Rupert,
Yes.
and Commissioner Sue.
Yes.
Okay, the minutes are approved with 5 yes and 3 absent.
All right, now on to the Youth Commission work plan. Does anybody have any updates or anything? Okay, I'm gonna start. So I started I kind of have an outline of the mission statement, and it's not completely finished, but I did like look at other people's and try to figure out like what we wanted. So I have an outline, and even though it's not done, like I don't know if Parker, you want me to send that over to you. And then I started trying to edit the video for the how to register for our classes, but I think my file got like corrupted. But I do have a like PowerPoint kind of thing that I can also send that just kind of walks you through the steps, and it's not a video, but it's at least something for that that I can send to.
Hey, Nate, I'm going to update the original document. So I will update with everything that folks want to add. So I'm adding in the mission statement that there is a draft so that the next youth commission can hopefully finalize that.
Yeah, and then I'll send it over to you so that next year they can look at it and decide if they want to keep it or change it.
So Commissioner Rupert, update on civic engagement series. We did end up, I might have mentioned this in prior meetings, but we did end up meeting with the San Diego County librarian, April Smith, and we were able to get both a script down and I believe footage when I went back to grab some of the Encinitas library to share with local community members and youth in our schools. And all that needs to be done is just finalizing basically our script and then recording the stuff that we have down.
Commissioner Rupert, do you happen to have a date that you all visited the library?
Let me check. Commissioner Sue, do you remember when we went to the library exactly? I can go through my calendar real quick.
Yeah, I don't remember. We went on a Wednesday though, I think. Oh, I think it was April 20th.
It was April 20th.
Yeah.
Commissioner Pacheco, just to circle back, would you have any interest in sending over the file you believe is corrupted? We could potentially have someone in our ET department look at it just so that all of the footage or your work wasn't lost. I don't know if it's recoverable, but we have smart people here that might be able to help if you're interested.
You got it. I'll send it over and see. Yeah, I'm not that good with, so they probably can figure it out more than I can.
Don't feel bad. That's I would send it to them too. We can't all be good at everything.
And Commissioners Rupert and Sue, you all met with librarian April Smith, and is the goal to create an informational video once you are able to sort of like compile everything?
Yeah, about the Encinitas Library and its resources and the way that it works.
Okay, so I'll put that in there as a plan for the next commission to finish up. Several of you will be back, including the entire group for that work plan item. So that should be perfect.
I guess an update from the civic engagement series. I mean, throughout the year, we were able to learn a lot from our presentations. And some of the just quick things that I can remember is we were able to learn, I believe, about e-bike safety and bring out pamphlets to our school campuses to hand out. And then I know for voter registration, I was able to take that resource and implement that at our school, which was, I believe, it was like something to vote. But I remember that resource was really helpful this year. And utilizing a lot of those resources from those speakers was really helpful.
Hey, Commissioner Rupert, just want to make sure you're aware, under Work Plan Goal 5, we have the Inspire to Vote stuff from that speaker. So that's on there. And then also under Work Plan number 4, the e-bike education, what you mentioned about distributing that information is on there as well. So we do have that stuff listed. So thank you for making sure that that stuff is done. And I think the only thing left then for us to add some stuff to would be the virtual park tour. And Chair Pacheco, I think that was what you mentioned with the corrupted file, correct? So we're going to try to recover that, and then the next youth commission can continue that work if they see fit.
Yeah, and then when I have like a PowerPoint that kind of like points out the steps. It's just not a video, so I can also send that to you when I send the file over. So then they're all together.
Okay, Nate, I'm going to take over sharing. I've got the updated document here. And then is there any other updates before we would move to a vote? That's a good spot. Hearing none, I'm assuming then you can see on the screen the updated document. So feel free to, Chair Pacheco, go ahead and run us through a voting process.
All right. Voting. Time to vote.
So is there a motion for the approval of the 2021-2022 Youth Commission Work Plan?
I motion to approve the 2021-2022 work plan, Youth Commission work plan.
Commissioner Rupert, second.
Do we need to state with maybe clarify the motion to state that you motion to approve it with aforementioned changes noted during this meeting? Because otherwise it may be that you're approving what's written here, and I want to make sure that all changes are agreed upon as verbalized? I believe you'll have to start the motion over if that is what the commission wishes to do.
Okay. I motion to approve the revised work plan from today for the 2021-2022 Youth Commission.
Commissioner Rupert seconds.
I'll go ahead and take a vote. Chair Pacheco,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez, Commissioner Junis.
Yep.
Commissioner Rupert
Yes.
and Commissioner Sue.
Yes.
Okay, the 2021-2022 Youth Commission Work Plan is approved. 5 votes yes, 3 absent.
All right, seeing that there are no informational items, the commissioner member initiated agenda items, I think we all kind of went over already. And so then are there any future agenda items? But it's our last meeting, so not really, right? All right, adjournment. I don't have the gavel this time, dang it. But I adjourn this meeting at 9:44, Monday, June 20th.
And if everybody could stay on just a few moments once we stop recording.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're